So you guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song. So here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. I only did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Be worth it. Last year, we lost the voice actor who plays Jesse and Misty from Pokemon. This year, sadly, we lost another one who voices Meowth, James, Professor Oak, and Gary, and that is Jimmy, Lee, and there's also it's also pronounced James McCarter Cathcart. So his name is really hard. His last name is hard to pronounce, but yep. So definitely we can no longer prepare for trouble, and it sucks, or make it double. But it's losing them, and I know the show. No, these guys didn't. As far as I know, these guys didn't really play any of the characters in the new version of Pokemon. I haven't watched the new version of Pokemon yet, but I do find it sad when we lose a great voice actor that I always laughed at, because to me, Dusty and James and Meowth were mostly just joke villains. They weren't ones that you would find scary or anything like that. They're just to me, they're the comic relief. Professor Oak was like the wise person to give you advice. Gary was just a guy who you would just wanting for Ash to punch eventually. Is how he was so mean to him. But eventually, I think he did settle down. Eventually, when he learned Ash respected him. I think when Ash actually did defeat him in a battle, eventually he finally stopped being a jerk to him and went to go and be like a professor like his grandpa. So yeah, but I decided for the one I'm gonna pick for this guy is because I only have one Pokemon movie. That's the one I did last time when we lost Jesse, and Misty's voice actress was Pokemon Forever. So I had to look for streaming to get this one, and I finally was able to find the Pokemon First movie. I know I kind of watched them backwards, but I decided to watch that. And this movie, I didn't watch this one when it came to theaters back when I would have been 9 years old when this movie came out, but I can totally see now that yes, it does indeed have problems. I've never watched the Japanese version, but I did watch the little technically there's two different shorts you can watch before this. One is the Pikachu one, but there's also another one that you can watch if you find the Japanese one. That's Mewtwo's birth, and it's about the other clones, the professor's daughters. I think it's like Amy too, and he's trying to bring her back. We don't know how she ended up dying, but Mewtwo ends up like spending time with her, and a Charmander, Bulbasaur, and a Squirtle, which look very similar to the ones that get used in the movie. I'm like the Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard. They have like the same patterns that those guys do. So I don't know. why, but that I know they die here, but it just seems weird that those guys look very similar to a evolved version of them. Because if you notice, the other clones don't really have like stripes. I mean, I think Pikachu's clone ends up having like on the ear the the little black things on their ears, the black part does have like a little part on the yellow part of the ears. So, but the other ones I can't really tell. They don't really focus them on them that much. I can't really tell. See if there's anything different between like the two Meows clones. But in this movie, Mew, who we don't really get to see in the show, really, we hear of him and gets cloned for Giovanni so he can be the most powerful guy in the world by having to own Pokemon that he helped create because he financed it. And all the scientist gets destroyed by him because he does not want to be used to be a science experiment. And then Giovanni tries to use him to be more powerful, and he ends up destroying that spot too. And then because he wants to have his own purpose and figure out, but he wants, I guess you could say, try to take over the world. But then he like sends invitations out to a bunch of trainers, including Ash, because he sees Ash fighting a random person. We don't know who that random person is. The Team Rocket's usually watching, as they usually are, follow them to it, even though they're not invited. And there's a big storm that he makes in order to challenge his opponents to see if who can make it through the challenge. You can make it through the storm, and who can be strong enough to do it. And we have 4 different trainers, and Misty and Brock too, and James and Jesse and Meowth. They just sneak along because they dress up as Vikings, and that silly joke where I thought Vikings were extinct, and Clouds and I say they mostly live in Minnesota. Like, how would you know they live? I know isn't that like a joke for like some type of sports joke? But yeah. And when they get there, they find out that it's a Pokemon that's calling them there, and that he has captured Nurse Joy to like learn stuff from, but he ends up releasing her right when he gets there. But he wants to like show that he is worthy of doing this stuff, because the trainers there don't think that he's worthy, that they should not do that. And they end up sending like his Gyarados on there. Like, one thing I did not like about this movie is that sometimes they say the wrong Pokemon's name, because twice they call a Pidgeot, keep calling it a Pidgeot a Pidgeotto, and then they call a Pinscher Alakazam. Like, learn your own Pokemon, okay? I mean, I still can't remember how many there are now, but back when there was well, technically this would be around the time where they started making Generation 2, but because it's Togepi's there, and there's a few of those Pokemon, but I was able to mostly know most of the 151 Pokemon, the ones that first came out. But yes, as the time gone on, I have not bothered to learn the new ones, but I still keep the ones that were out when I was a kid, the ones that I liked. We have, after the Gyarados attacks Mew to and ends up losing, Ash says, I challenged you to a battle, and he ends up bringing out his his Charizard, his Venusaur, and his Blastoise. James and Jesse are in the Meowth are in the laboratory, poking around, basically, and Meowth ends up getting cloned. Because Jesse turns on the machine by accident, just by sitting on it. And we end up seeing them battle. We get to see the Blastoise and the Venusaur end up losing to, and then Charizard, Ash's Pokemon. The one this is around the time when Charizard's being a little teenager and not listening to his owner, his master. Because I always find him like it was like a rebellion, but I don't know why. Because Charmander was so nice to him, while Charmeleon and Charizard are such jerks to Ash. It's like he forgot that. Oh yeah. Ash saved my butt when I was in the rain when I was a Charmander. Why am I being so mean to him? I could have died out there. But no, I had to be a jerk to him for some reason. Charizard is like probably the one that does give him the Mewtwo's Charizard the most work. But he does end up losing eventually. And this is when Mewtwo makes the choice of capturing all the Pokemon. But they try to keep them from being captured. I think only one that actually does is Misty, because she hides Togepi. And I don't know why my Mewtwo even would want Togepi, because Togepi doesn't really do much. But yeah, that backpack must be made of something, because Brock tries to carry Vulpix away. Ash tries capturing both Squirtle and Bulbasaur, making sure that they don't get caught, but it didn't work. Pikachu's like the last one that does get caught, because he keeps on fighting and gets away. But Ash goes right after him and saves him, but all of them still do get cloned, but he brings out the real ones. And for some reason he thinks punching Mewtwo would work, because does he not see what's happened to the other Pokemon when they attack him? Why would a human not get hurt? And then he ends up being thrown away, and Mew is saving him. And finally we get the fight with Mew and Mewtwo fighting. And yep, this is the part of the movie where everybody's like saying, why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about not fighting in a series? It's pretty much all about fighting. Okay, if you're going to teach us anything, why teach us this? I guess in the Japanese version it has to do with which one's the real one. Is it being like the real one or the artificial one that was crafted in lab? I don't know if which one actually would work as a good story for this movie, but yeah, I can totally see why a lot of people don't like this. I don't like it either. I find it weird, because how would you do Pokemon without the fighting? It's like the best part of the stuff. So yeah, but I guess they're trying to say is they don't want them to fight to the death. Only want them to fight until they faint. So I don't really find the difference, but okay. And Pikachu refuses to fight. I think only ones that are not really like fighting are like Meowth and his clone, because they realized much sooner that they're mostly the same. But yeah, Pikachu's refusing to fight and gets hit by his clone. And this is when Ash ends up trying to come in between their fighting after he gets down from where he was and gets turned into stone, which is I guess one of their powers that they have. And then they cried to him, tried to turn Ash back to normal. Which, if you did watch the short where Mewtwo tries to revive his owner, it didn't work. But here it does, I guess, since there's more Pokemon, and it does, and it helps Mewtwo realize what he's doing is wrong, and he ends up leaving with his clones, but erasing their memories. Like, then what's on her point in them learning this lesson? They're not going to remember it. So yeah, but we gotta keep the status quo. But I thought this was supposed to be like the last episode of it. But then why call it Pokemon the first movie? But yeah, I do like something like the last part of the movie. I would say it kind of ruins it. Bringing on her part where we should not fight does definitely ruin it. So if I'm gonna give this movie a I was trying to look for the card that you could win when you went to the theaters for this movie, which I never got. Like I said, never went to the movies to see this movie. Which is like the fossil version of Mew. There's a couple other ones that have pictures of events in the movie and the Pikachu short, which if I remember correctly, I didn't watch this one recently beforehand, but this is like supposed to be Ash and Misty and Brock go and see the movie, and while Pikachu and all of the others Pokemon just sit and relax outside and get in a fight with Raichu. And they end up getting Charizard trapped in something, and they end up all having to work together to end up saving Charizard, and then they all like be friends afterwards. So after they save Charizard, because teamwork is the one that is the best work of all. Yay! So yeah, I want that short's fine, but I wanted to like find out how much this movie made at the box office. Because I know, as far as I remember, it wasn't at theaters very long. So let's see. So I guess that's when it's released in America. I don't know why it says that. Anyway, so this movie came. The budget was $5 million, and the box office is $172.7 million. So yeah, but definitely made its money back. Oh, so yeah, it was released '98 in Japan. Well, in America, it came up here in 1999. So yeah, we didn't get it till like a whole year later. And as usual, they get it before we do. I'll make sure to show the poster for the Japanese one. But yeah, that looks really cool. I just wanted to add that to this video. It's still good, but I'm probably gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10. So I'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe, and we'll miss James, Jimmy, and however you say his last name, because he has two different last names. Is it supposed to be like a stage name and his real name or something? James John E, and then there's Carter Carton. I see. This is why I have a hard time. This is why I hate last names. They're just hard to pronounce most of the time. So we'll miss him. Like, everyone, subscribe, guys, and bye bye.